Okay, Teresa, let's take a look at your week for assignment 2, drawing. There's a couple issues with this drawing. The main one is that in the guidelines it asks that you pick an ad from a magazine or wherever that has a person, a place, or an actual product in it. So just having a logo in place or two logos in place doesn't have any of the qualifications for a person, a place, or a product. The reason is so that we have some amount of work being done with regards to the values and shading and highlights and texture and that sort of thing. And when you have something like this that's just a graphical output of a logo, you don't get any of that. There's no transitions in light, there's no light source, there's no textural stuff going on, and so it ends up being very, very limited in regards to what we've been dealing with in the class, up to this point, with perspective and proportions, lighting, shading, working with the process, especially that we worked on in the last assignment, laying in lighter value colors and then putting in darker and darker ones as well as color. So it ends up kind of feeling incomplete in that way because there's just so much kind of missing from it. The other thing is that you should have a certain amount of text in place that's being Greeked out. So there should be some body copy within the advertisement or within the magazine cover that has text in it, and with the text all you need to do is go in and Greek it to show that you're kind of thinking about how the placement of the text is affecting the composition. So that's also something that's not in place. So this becomes a problem. There's a lot of people who seem to have been doing this, and it just ends up not reinforcing what we've been trying to work with, which for me is the main issue, because we're going to be going into a big assignment for the next assignment where you have a lot of things to deal with, pretty much everything that we've dealt with in class all in one assignment. And so this is kind of like the test run, and I just don't think it gives you enough insight into all the things that you would want. So so I think that those are kind of the main issues. It's a good rendering. The color feels to be pretty spot on. You're doing, I think, a good job overall of keeping the proportions, the font, the text, and everything of the headline and the title to be, what it is in the original. But I mean, I'm not really seeing anything in terms of kind of the fill or the technique or mixing of markers, and not really any color pencil either, which is something we would like to see kind of incorporated in all drawings. So I think just kind of make sure you're reading through the guidelines really carefully. This is a particularly difficult one because there were a lot of things to have to keep in mind. I think that what you have is really nice, but it just doesn't kind of hit what we want for this particular assignment.